Hello. So today I thought I'd make a short video about this bandsaw. So Metabo BAS 317 Precision. So these are quite an old bandsaw now. You can't, I don't think you can buy, well no, you can't buy a new one because you can only get so many spare parts for them. And what's good about these, you can pick these up really cheap. I got this for about 200 quid. And you got a solid cast iron base there. So the machine's got a bit of weight to it, that's nice. Also you got the 7-inch of a cutting blade there. It's not 10-inch, but having 10-inch adds so much onto the price. So mainly I need the height there for recutting boards, splitting boards down the middle. I'm not going to do 10-inch boards, so 7-inch boards are fine. Or bandsaw boxes, I could do with 10 inches for that, but it's all right. 7 inches is all right. So it's actually a really good all-round. Say beginner. It's not a beginner's machine really, but it's beginner because it's lower budget. Okay, but it's a good old workhorse. It's got a good old motor. I think the motor, excuse the mess in here, I've just finished a couple of big jobs and haven't had a chance to really clean up yet. And this bandsaw's been broken for quite a while now, which is what I really want to talk about. So the motor there is going to last probably longer than I do. So there is a couple of things about these that it's best to be aware of, and I'll show you what broke and what I've done about it, and hopefully put you in touch with somebody who can get the bit fixed, because the bit that broke, you can't buy it on the list of spares anymore. And I'll put the spare part number. So if you type in the spare part number, you should be able to find my friend's eBay account that is going to be selling these parts, because there's just nowhere else to get them. I assume lots of people have these machines, so knowing this bit of information will definitely bail you out if you need bailing out. Right, let's have a look at it. Okay, so this is the inside of the top part. Okay. That's the bottom part, and that's the top part, and obviously the wheel goes on this spindle here, and this part, that when you screw that in, when you put the blade on, of course at the moment it's angled downwards, so you can easily get the blade over the top of the wheel, and then as you level it up, you're actually getting the blade in the right place on the wheel with that. And for some reason, when they manufactured these machines, they made this part, which is probably the bit in the machine that's under the most stress, out of the weakest, most terrible galvanized something that you could possibly use. It's really, really very badly made, actually, that part. The rest of it is very well made, so it's like strange that you should make the weakest link in the machine out of something really so bad. For no reason. He can't even buy the spares now, so why would you do that? It was to encourage you to buy a new machine where you wouldn't buy a new one of these then, would you? So it's that part. So my friend Gary from R&D Bowers, he's got a YouTube channel that I'll put a link into, and excuse me, I've got a bit of a summer cold, so my voice is a bit funny. Maybe a new bit up. So I sent him the old one, which I'll put that on screen, a broken bit, and he's rebuilt it. A little bit here, you can see it's not a perfect 90 degrees that, but what I did to get around that is stick a couple of washers under here So it actually has pushed it back into proper alignment with the wheel underneath. But anyway, Gary's knocked me another one up by casting the old one. It's completely snapped in half. So he's rebuilt it and made a new casting. So proper thick alley this time. Oh, something decent there, it's going to be strong. And the other one wasn't even solid, it was had indentations on here as well. Very, very strange. So that's one of the complaints I would say about this machine. And the other one is this part. This is the same galvanized, and this one doesn't seem to be showing any weakness or anything in it, and I'm hoping, because there's not really any strain on that part of the machine, I'm hoping that nothing will happen to it. Because you can't get that either now, I don't think. And it's the same with the the blade guide housing part. Again, under there is made with the same galvanized. I suppose these wheels are as well, but well, they look like aluminium, a lot better quality aluminium they do, but the stuff that was made out of definitely wasn't. Anyway, if these ever go, I'm pretty sure Gary could make that as well. So I'm making this video really for the benefit of anyone who's got one of these machines, to be able to put them in touch with Gary. Okay. So just to point out something, when I bought this thing, I bought it off a guy he was in a wheelchair now, so I suppose he couldn't really use it anymore, and it been stuck in his shed for years. And so all this rubber on here, this band here, that was all completely perished, and so I had to get new ones of that. All this around the tops here, get new. So if you do get an old one, yeah, let's have a look at the wheel. Just replace all that straight away. Yeah, the new ones are much better. You don't realise how worn the other ones get. The old ones are. Yeah, so right, let's just put it all back together and show you the machine working. So just setting this up, I thought I might as well include this on here. What people mainly, a mistake people do, is to put the band right in the middle of this wheel, so sort of there, so the teeth are at this edge. But what that does is it puts the most stress is on the back end of the blade, so the front end's loose. You obviously don't want it that way around. You want it tension on the front of the blade and the back of it loose. The back can do what it likes. It's cut off. It's cut by then. So line up your blade so that the teeth are in roughly the middle of the blade, the wheel. Sorry. Like this. Okay, there we go. So that is a 3/4 inch resawing blade. Let's test it out, cutting some oak, shall we? Right. First, this old bit of worktop. I think 28mm this thick. I'm just going to go through. So I've got the highest setting, but I'm going to do it with a relatively thin piece of wood. Let's see how it's going to work. Yeah, a knife through butter. Goes through oak, absolutely no problem, no burning, scorching on the wood. Let's try a bit of a resawing. So I had to make my own fence when I got this thing. I don't know, it had some kind of contraption on it, but it wasn't what you could call a fence. But anyway, let's try this version. Let's get a couple of clamps, or a clamp. Right, let's give that a go. So a big bit of advice I can give people is never get lulled into a false sense of security with these things. It's very, very easy to cut your fingers off with this, as I learned last year when I went halfway through my thumb. Because you just don't think it's going to cut you. You think you can get really close to that blade with your fingers, and then all of a sudden it suddenly pushes through and bang. Right halfway through the bone that went. Anyway, that's cut very nicely. Pretty uniform thickness all the way through. Well, that's that good 3 or 4 inches of oak. Went through no problem. No scorching, nothing. It's not even a new blade, that's fairly old. But that's worked fine. That's with that one. I'm going to put a really thin blade on it. It's 1/8 of an inch or 6 mil, I think. What I meant to say was 1/8 inch blade, which is about 3.5 mil thick. So these blades, it's like a scrolling blade really. You can do really tight turns and curves and things. So let's go with this bit that I've just cut off. Let's do some random curves. Working fine. Perfect. Try something thicker. Okay. It's cutting through oak like a knife through butter. That absolutely perfect. Right, so I would say that's mission success, and a great thanks to Gary, and his YouTube name is GRS-x-Bow R&D. So he does a few other things as well, crossbows and things like that. And basically he's saved me having to scrap this thing, which would have been a right pain because I only bought it a couple of years ago. And it's more that you're scrapping something that you know is good. It just needs a little bit of tweaking and work doing on it, which these bandsaws, yeah, that's the fault, is that part. Yeah, so really, if you get that part done, then yeah, it's going to last you another. I I'm not pretty sure that part's never going to break again. And the only thing that can really go is these blade guards, and I think the motor will outlast me. Anything else you could probably make up yourself to fix. So these are very good little entry level, you know, it's a bit above today's entry level stuff. The entry level stuff from 20 years ago is a lot better than it is now. Now these are just aluminium. The machine's got no weight to it. So, like I say, thank you, Gary. You've saved me having to scrap this thing and having to buy a new one, which have been a right pain in the arse. All right, cheers.